Welcome to the main event. I've always wanted to say that, and by main, I mean hair mane. We'll be talking to two hair care experts who happen to be husband and wife. Their hair affair is next on the Jeff Crilley Show.
Hair affair.
The worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Welcome to my show. Today we're going to be talking about hair with two leading hair care experts, Buddy and Karen Sharp from the Hair Authority podcast. Welcome to the show.
Oh,
Thank you for having us.
I'm so thrilled. I want you to know that you are two of my favorite clients because you come in here, you light up the room, my team loves you. We look forward to Buddy and Karen Sharp days.
well, what's not to love? I mean, we're going walking in. We're having a great time. We are excited to be here. But first of all, I thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you for letting us be here. But I got to tell you that in person, you're much taller. I was going to think that here I'm going to go walking in there and I'm this rugged buck right now. So I come walking in and he's tall.
Well, thank you. Wow, I will take that as a compliment.
I'm trying to sit as tall as I can. So that,
we're going to get into hair care in a second, but I want to hear about your hair affair because a husband and wife team. How did you guys meet?
It's a very sordid story. It takes me back to 1937. And, okay, I know. I'm sorry.
So actually, I was his client.
Okay.
I was his client, and this was 23 years ago.
Wow. So and he put the move on you.
He attempted.
Yeah.
He attempted.
I had no pride.
He attempted. The funny thing was, I had his first appointment on the Saturday, and he thought I knew who I was, but he really didn't. And so my appointment was at 10, and I came in, and he was sitting at his station reading his newspaper, drinking coffee, and I sat there a minute, and he looked over, and I said, "Buddy," and he said, "Yes," and he said, "I'm Karen, you're 10 o'clock," and he said, "Yes, you are."
And it kind of went from there. I owned a spa at a hotel here in North Dallas, and I thought Karen, she worked at the time for a very good friend of mine, a law firm here in Dallas, and so I thought she was someone else. So when this someone else called and said, "Buddy, or her boss Catherine called and said, 'Hey, I want you to do my paralegal's hair,' and I went, sure. Okay, this girl, she was fabulous. All right, so anyway, I come walking in, I get ready, got my paper, got my coffee, I'm getting ready, I'm trying to psych myself up for doing this.
Yeah.
And then Karen comes in, I'm looking at her, and I went, yeah. But I'm trying to be all coy about it. And so she sits over there for 5, 10, and now into 15 minutes, and that's when she said, "Buddy," and now I'm getting mad because my first appointment is running late, and I had all the. So anyway, she says, "I'm Karen, your first appointment," and instantly I went into overdrive. Yes, you are. Yeah. And so she comes over, she sits in the chair, and she says, "Well, I would kind of like yada yada." That's what I was hearing, Charlie Brown.
Yes.
Won't. Because I said, "Okay, well, what if we try this? And are you married?"
Really?
He asked
Buddy.
me if I was married.
I asked if she was married, and we just.
Now, was it love at first sight?
I would think it was definitely chemistry at first sight, for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. Let's just roll with chemistry.
And the chemistry, it wasn't just the hair dye.
No.
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 It was real chemistry.
Yeah, so I cut her hair and I made her come back late on a
Yeah, he said,
weeknight that week. So I
He
could,
said, I can't get it all done today, so you're going to have to come back Thursday night about,
Late.
let's see, my last appointment's at 6.
Over a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's another-
Oh, yeah.
That's how it went.
That's wonderful. Okay, so I want to talk some serious about hair care, and we have a picture that we're going to share because you showed it to me just before we went on the air.
Yes.
And buddy, I want you to describe what we're looking at here.
Oh, this young lady, the photo that we're looking on the monitor here, the top right, she was in a boating accident. Her husband was pulling her on skis, and he turned and she went too wide and went right through the boat dock and fractured both femurs. So she was in the hospital and busted her hip and some spinal damage, but she was in the hospital for several months. And she showed me a photo because I'd never met this lady. So she showed me a photo of what her hair looked like before, and it was long, and she had a ponytail at her scalp and one at the end. Well, the paramedics or the nurses, whoever, took the ponytail off the bottom, left the one at the scalp, and over several months, the rubber band basically turned to glue, and her hair started to turn into this quagmire. And it was that. It took me 4 hours just to get the tangling out because I knew that I was going to have to save as much hair as possible.
Yes.
Very pretty little girl. She just was having a horrible time feeling feminine with this softball on the back of her head.
Yes.
And so we got all the tangles out. I was able to get it out, highlight her hair to where, because after 6 months she had some Darlie,
Yeah.
what's that lady, prison girl?
Darlie Routier?
Roots hair, yeah, she had the roots going on. It was
Right,
it was not
right.
good. And so we got all that taken care of, and then after that she wanted long hair, and so I was able to build her a head of hair, and that right there took me about 6.5 hours, but it was the last time I ever saw her. And her husband came in, and he cried, she cried,
Wow.
and
When she came in, she thought he was going to have to shave her head.
That's what I was thinking, that a lot of hairdressers would just say, it
I
can't
can't
be
do
saved.
this. Yeah, I can't do this.
And so by the time Buddy was finished, like you said, it was all day. But she boo-hooed. She was so
Wow.
It was really
overjoyed.
cool, and I told her, I said, now somebody is going to have to be a champion. And so he just came to play.
Wow.
He said, whatever it's going to take.
That's
And-
wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, your reputation, buddy, has really led to the national stage. You go around when we're not social distancing, you speak at these large events. We've got a picture of you up on stage. Tell me more about that in your speaking career.
Now the one at the top, there is a company, Monate, that I'm one of the few men, and it is a botanical hair care company that I promote. And I've been very fortunate that I knew a lot of people, so I was able to promote the products. And Senor Luis, the wonderful gentleman on my left up there, is probably one of the coolest guys in the whole world. And he and I have become great friends, and so I was on stage receiving an award.
He's the owner of the company.
Yeah, he's the owner of the company, and just an incredible human being. And then the photos at the bottom, I was doing a speaking engagement up in Montreal, Canada.
Wow.
And it was so cool because in Quebec, they speak French. I don't speak French. And so I would speak a little bit, and then the interpreter would speak. And finally, at one point, I just stopped and said, "Can you do this? Because it sounds so much better when you do it." And it was because when they translated what I was saying to French, didn't have my Arkansas twang.
No.
There was none of these yous, y'alls, yos, none of that. It was all that. Yeah. I was like, oh my
Very
God,
sexy.
I am so sexy up here.
I love it. I love it. You must really come alive on stage. Is this something you
Oh,
really
yeah.
look forward to?
Yeah, I'm a freak. Yeah, I'm a
All
freak.
right, let's talk Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, because one of your claims to fame is that you are the guy behind the women that are the most iconic,
In the world.
cheerleaders on the planet.
In the world,
We're going to roll
yes.
a little bit of video. Tell us what it is about Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders' hair that is so iconic.
It's part of the uniform, and you will notice that the Cowboy cheerleader uniform has, oh my God, that's Kelly. Okay, you will notice that the changes to the uniform have been so minute over the years because it is not a costume, it's a uniform. And their hair is part of it, and it has to be glorious and glamorous
and big.
Texas big.
Do you feel a lot of pressure when you're working with the cheerleaders?
It was...
Because you're on the national stage. Your hair is being judged by millions and millions of people.
Exactly. And when the first time that I got to actually go and judge the audition, one of the auditions, I was so terrified because I didn't know the difference between an 8 count and a 6-pack. And so, there's Tina. Oh yeah! Oh my God! I do recognize quite a few of them. Yeah.
That's really cool.
And that young man right there is my son. The one in my arms. That's my mullet there.
That's awesome.
That was in '92 after the first Super Bowl.
That's very cool. That was the year I came to Dallas. So I want to talk about your podcast because so thrilled because we go back like 3 weeks when we first met. Why did you decide to do a show? And do it together with Karen?
Well, it had to be a combo between the two of us because when I'm away and I'm speaking, I don't have the confidence that I have when Karen's with me because I have a sounding board.
Yeah.
I know that I'm not going to get too far off topic because I'll get this.
Yep.
And
I keep him in check.
But to have a podcast, a video podcast, is something that we can spread our mission statement to millions of people at one time, where I've been doing hair for 42 years. And in the beginning, if I didn't just talk to somebody, then the message didn't get out there, because I've always believed in long, healthy, shiny, wonderful hair. I always thought that hair belongs on the lady's head, not on my floor. And so I'm able to spread that now, because I was telling a young lady last night, we were doing something for the podcast show a little later, that the 3 components that you have for a successful style is A, you have to have a client with a thought in her mind of what she wants to look like. Then you got to have a stylist with a skill set that can replicate that vision. And then you got to have a product line that will nurture and maintain that hair and that style for the 6 weeks that they're gone. Because I call a good product line hair insurance from you messing it up. And so that's what I needed to be able to get out there for our younger stylists who are trying to get away from doing the pharmacy part of it. You got to recommend maintenance.
Yes.
And so,
Karen, you add a lot to the show. So talk about the chemistry. Had you worked with Buddy in a broadcasting format before?
We have not, really. I mean, we travel. We travel together and we speak together, but we had never really done it broadcasting. So when he came to me and said, "I want to do a podcast," I was like, "You want to what?"
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do
play
that.
off of each other so well.
Thank you.
I think it makes the show.
Yeah, like I said, I keep him in check, and I think we're good together.
Well, you can't piss off your hairdresser.
That's
No,
true.
you can't.
That's true.
And I'm her hairdresser.
That's true. I know a guy.
That's awesome. Well, I want to give some COVID-19 tips, because obviously a lot of people have not been to their hairdresser in months. I mean, is COVID-19 and quarantine, is it hard on hair?
It's not so much that it's hard on the actual fiber, but on the actual growth system, yes, it's very hard on it because of the stress that people are under, not knowing. And when you have a lot of stress going on, it tends to shut down.
It makes your hair brittle?
It makes the bulb, the actual bulb it's in the dermal layer. What happens is it goes dormant.
Really?
And because when you go into stress, like what's going on, people tend to go into survival mode. And I say this all the time, your body doesn't care if you're cute. It doesn't. But it's going to keep you alive. And so your hair is robbed of its nutritional value.
Yes.
And so your heart's got to be there, lungs, kidneys, liver, and... But
so the message is go to your hairdresser. They're all taking precautions now.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
everybody's taking precautions. We're all wearing our masks,
awesome.
the sanitation. But getting back to the whole stress thing is just to relax.
Yes.
This will all come
This
to an
too
end.
shall pass.
Yeah,
Yes.
this too will pass.
And I love your social media channels. I found one clip with you and your sister. Let's go ahead and roll that now.
Oh gosh.
All right, everybody. It's Buddy in Dallas, but actually I'm in Broken Bow, Oklahoma.
Hoochtown.
Hoochtown. I'm in Hoochtown. This is my sister Martha, and I've been doing her hair since 1970. Yeah. So anyway, I was highlighting her hair, but the thing about it is this particular product needs heat to process, and it's kind of cool in this cabin. And this is something that we used to do back in the old days before we had portable hood dryers. All right, now, I know there's going to be lots of questions and lots of fun stuff saying about bags. Okay, now, here we go. All right, Inkbot, I want you to hold that just like that. All right, now, I've cut a hole in the back of the bag. Now, I'm going to take this blow dryer, and that right there is going to heat up the color and make it process. That's all I have to do, guys. And so if you've got a grocery sack and a blow dryer, you can process your color at home.
If you've got a sister that will let you do it.
And if you've got a sister that will let you put a bag on her head, and a brother-in-law that loves you and loves the bag on her head. So anyway.
Do we do it on high air or low
It
air?
doesn't matter, it just warms it up. Hair processes at about 80 degrees perfectly. All right, guys, I love you. This is Buddy. That's Mark. Love ya.
Wow.
Wow. Yes, wow.
Karen is so embarrassed.
Oh,
She's like,
yes,
she's
that
gonna kill
was-
me. She's going to kill me.
Oh, she's gonna
now,
kill both of
How
us.
did you convince your sister to allow you to say, hey, I've got a great idea. We're going to put a bag on your head?
Oh, Lord. When you can tell women, I can make you look pretty, they don't care.
How you doing?
Because the end product is, I'm going to be pretty. And I will put a bag on your head, and then 5 minutes later, I'm going to tuck the bag off, and you're going to be pretty.
I love it. We're almost out of time. I want to tease the Buddy Sharp show. You've got a special episode coming up today, live at 1.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about it.
It is 60 minutes to wow.
Okay.
Powerful, sexy
Powerful,
hair.
sexy hair. 60 minutes to wow. And we have a supermodel that is going to come on and demonstrate what we've done. And you don't want to miss this, because the before and after is, sometimes I even surprise myself. And I take no credit for knowing what I'm doing. I had none whatsoever. All right, because I know that the good Lord stuck this idea in my head, and I'm not
Going with
one
it.
to argue.
Are you going to put a bag on the supermodel's head?
No, I left the bag at home. I did. I left the bag at home, but I have.
She'll be disappointed, I'm sure.
Yeah, the world will be disappointed. She
This
doesn't
is a
need a bag.
low-tech solution. I like
It
that.
is low tech. Yeah.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
You guys have been great
But
guests.
she is in a hoochie mama.
I know. She's going to kill you. She's
gonna kill me.
Gonna kill you. Okay, we're going to put your website up so people can get in touch. BuddySharp.com is the website. Thank you both for coming on the
Oh,
show. You guys have been
thank
amazing.
you.
Thanks
Jeff,
again.
great to see
And
you.
Looking forward to your show this afternoon at 1.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.